Do you ever find you finish a piano practice session feeling as though you've worked extremely hard, but then you come to the piece perhaps the next day and you think, what has actually improved? It doesn't feel like it's moving forward at all. If that sounds familiar, it's probably not a case of needing to practice more, but it's all about how you practice, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. The first thing I want you to remember is activity isn't progress. Some pianists think that the more time they spend at the piano, the better they're going to become. Yes, you need to spend some time at the piano, but simply playing through things over and over and over again isn't necessarily going to result in improvement. Instead, what you need to do is give each practice session a really clear goal. What exactly do I want to improve today? Is it going to be the rhythm, the fingering, balance of the hands, memorising the notes a little bit more, bringing out the articulation detail? Every practice session needs to have a clear goal. Instead of saying, I'm going to play through my Beethoven sonata, or I'm going to work on the first movement of my Beethoven sonata, or even I'm going to work on the first subject of my Beethoven sonata, focus in on a small section that you know needs work. And early in your practice, perhaps after a few warm-ups, get straight into that section that you know you need to spend some time on. So it might be bars 5 to 8, or it may be the left hand in this tricky section here. But have a clear goal. This is the bit I want to focus on. It's a small section. I'm going to spend some time on that. This is how I'm going to practice it. And then you'll start to see some results at the end of it. Solve problems instead of just repeating them. Now, I'm going to give you a little demonstration of this and how we might put this into practice in a practice session. This is from Bach's Prelude in C minor from the Well-Tempered Clavier, Book 2. And towards the end, there's this presto section. It goes like this. And so on. And I often find pupils play the whole prelude quite successfully, but they get to this bit, and this is typical of what might happen. And it all starts to fall apart when both hands are playing the semiquavers. So, first thing we need to do is identify the problem. Well, the problem there is partly the coordination of the hands, and possibly also the fingering and other details that is leading to the technical difficulties. So we're going to isolate it. I'm just going to pick out the second bar of that presto, and I'm going to just play the right hand very slowly. Do that again. So I did repeat it, but my repetition was reinforcing the correct way of playing it. I wasn't repeating a mistake. I might then start to try some dotted rhythms and things like that. Maybe even another rhythm pattern. And if I found a rhythm that wasn't quite secure, that's the one I practice to get it really secure. I'll do the same in the left hand. So slow. So I've identified the problems. I'm isolating it to that small section. I've simplified it by doing it hands separately as well. And I'm making sure any repetitions I do are building on security. They're always correct, and then I'm trying different rhythms and things to give it even more security. I'd now put this slowly together. And again, I might do my rhythms. A really tricky one, but I could try different rhythms in each hand. That's a really useful exercise for coordinating the hands. When I've done that, and I feel I'm absolutely secure hands together on that, then I'll start to lead in. And I'm not doing the whole presto, I'm just focusing on a small bit. If I feel quite comfortable with that, I might then start to gradually increase the tempo. But this is how professional pianists will practice, working on a small section in a lot of detail. And you'll notice I didn't spend a huge amount of time on that section, but I was making sure that each repetition was an improvement, and I was ensuring that I was just solving the problems and not simply just playing that presto section over and over and over, hoping for the best. I could have done it separately, but if I hadn't slowed the tempo down and really thought about the fingering, again, I may have just been practicing problems. So when you're practicing, keep asking yourself questions. Keep asking yourself, why did that go wrong? Was it the fingering? Was it a wrong note? Was it the rhythm, the coordination? What exactly went wrong? How can I improve it? Can I make it easier by doing it slower or separate? What is the smallest section I can work on? Again, going back to this, if there's a group of 4 semiquavers that got a slip in, just focus on those. Really narrow it down to that small section. An example of bad practice is just simply saying, maybe it'll be better next time, and having another go. We've not asked a question, we've not really sought to discover what the problem is. But asking the right questions will really help us to progress. So, before you finish practicing a section, always ask yourself, what has improved today? And also think what still needs work tomorrow. You're not going to solve everything in one practice session, but this will guide your next practice session as well. You may find keeping a practice journal is really useful to keep a record of this. And this means every practice session will become really productive. The best pianists aren't simply those who practice more, but they are the ones who think very carefully about how they practice. And if you'd like a complete framework for making every practice session as productive and effective as possible, I've recently uploaded an online course, and I'll put a link to that in the description of this video so you can check that out. I'll also leave a link to the practice letter, which is an email list I've got. And if you'd like to join that, you'll get a free piano practice tip every week by email to your inbox that you can apply to your piano playing. And you will also get my free piano practice checklist, which many people have fed back and said is a great resource to help them in their practicing. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do like and share, and please leave your comments. I'd love to hear from you.